speaking with a master smith. I am so interested to get to know. This is Aaron Wilburn, and he's with Wilburn Forge, and he's going to explain exactly what all you do, and I think you're the only one who can explain this, so I'm not even going to try to give you an introduction. Tell us a little bit about these knives and what Wilburn Forge is.
Well, what it is I am a bladesmith. I became certified as a master bladesmith through the American Bladesmith Society. So they set up a teaching program where you join the society, you serve an apprenticeship, and there are classes you can take, and then after 3 years, or actually it's 4 years, you can apply to be a journeyman smith. Now there's a performance test that's involved. So you have to be able to make a knife that can chop through a 2x4 twice, cut the last 6 inches of a free hanging manila rope, and then still be able to shave hair, put it in a vise and bend it 90 degrees without breaking. That's the performance test. And then
wow.
It's intensive.
And all of these knives can do that?
Well, no, that's specifically made for that.
Okay.
And then once you do that, then you have to, once a year there's a knife show in Atlanta, Georgia, where you go and you submit to a panel of 7 mastersmiths 5 knives of your choosing, that they comb over them and make sure that they don't say they have to be perfect, but they do. And you want to make sure the fit, the finish, the symmetry, all of that is right, and then they will certify you as a journeyman.
So I'm going to say that is fitting to call you a perfectionist?
Well,
a little bit.
A little bit. I try not to be. I try to be reasonable, but spending attention to detail is key in anything in life. So
you're doing all of that, and you're performing all that, and you're not even a journeyman at that point.
Yeah, that's just to become a journeyman.
Okay. And then what happens?
And then after that, you serve as a journeyman for a minimum. Yeah. Well, you go to a number of hospitals, there's all kinds of doctors. But Master Smith, there's only 110 or so in the world. Yeah, in the world. So after you serve as a journeyman, now you're eligible to test the same performance test, but it has to be with a Damascus blade. And a Damascus blade is a pattern welded steel. So there's 2 different types of steel that are forge welded together, and it has to be a minimum of 320 layers. And then you go through the same performance test. And then after that, you submit to a panel of iconic mastersmiths. 5 knives, one of them has to be a Quillian dagger with a fluted handle, everything you have to make yourself, the twisted wire, everything about it you make. And then they comb over those knives. And once they see that it meets the criteria, then you become a master smith. You get 3 chances in your lifetime to pass that test.
Wow.
Yeah. So I passed the first time, yeah.
Yes. Passed the first time. I like how you got that in there.
Right?
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Well, I even got the B.R. Hughes Award for the best knife submitted. So I've seen grown men cry that did not pass that test.
I'm sure. That's so much.
Yeah.
It's so time intensive.
Yes. I was a sleepless night beforehand, and
then to have them pour over your work and
Can I ask you how you actually
look at what he brought?
I just want to ask how you even decided that you might want to do this. This is boggling my mind so much. I keep looking at the knives and looking at you and looking at, how did you get here?
Well, it was my son and I had a business before, and we were out working, and we got rained out. So I went to a Barnes & Noble, and they had a knife magazine there. And I was looking at it, and the guy had an advertisement in there. He was in the next town over. This is when I was in Florida. So I called him, and I went to his shop. And I could not believe, just like your reaction to these, that was my reaction to what he was presenting. It was unbelievable work.
It is unbelievable.
And so I was like, that's my start. I was like, you're making this here in your garage? So I thought, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
So with support from my wife and encouragement, I started that journey.
Yes.
And that was in 2003.
Really?
So this is, you did this quickly then.
Yeah, well, I've been all over the country. I've flown places, I've taken classes, I've been to mastersmith shops, I've spent money, I bought equipment, I have thousands of dollars in equipment.
And you just love this that much? Like you found, is it kind of like a passion for you? Or?
Well, it's like any artist.
Yeah.
You paint something, you enjoy it.
Yes.
Why do you do anything?
Yeah.
It's for that joy. And for me, it's like therapy. There's certain things that I do that it's such a stress. We live in a stress-filled world, that's not this for me.
No,
I
I see
enjoy
that.
this,
Yeah.
and so,
So-
therefore I pour my passion into it.
I want to ask you about this,
Yes.
this knife. This is really unusual, and I'm going to try to hold it still so that you guys can kind of go in on it. But if you could see it up close, the steel is not a solid color like your kitchen knife. Yeah. It is a variegated. And what is that? Variegated, for lack of a better word.
It's Damascus steel, and what it is pattern welded steel. This particular knife, that's called a feather pattern. And it's the way I forge weld the steel together, fold it, manipulate it, split it, weld it back together, and then forge it into a blade. It shows the pattern in the steel. And what it is, it looks like plain steel, but then after it's hardened, I dip it in acid. The acid eats one metal more than the other, and it shows the pattern.
Right. And
So
who bought this? This is so interesting.
okay.
Who bought this?
This is a collector. He's in Norway, and this is the second knife that he purchased from me. The first knife he bought, I got a call. Do you want to hear the story about the call?
Yeah.
I got a call like at 4 in the morning from some guy in Turkey, and he was at a knife show, and he saw the knife that I had made for this collector. Well, the collector bought it from me for $3,200, and that guy bought it from him for $4,800 or something.
6
Wow.
months later.
6 months later. So, and I'm happy for him to make a profit on the knife.
Absolutely,
he should.
yeah.
They're-
And then he bought another one from you.
And he bought this one.
And what was the wait time on this?
Close to 2 years. So it takes, and it's not something that I just can punch out.
Right, no. And
I have to be motivated.
Yeah.
It's an art.
it is, truly. And I that's what I was going to ask. These are so artistic and they're so beautiful. And I know that some of them are collectors. But for instance, like this one, I mean, it's a smaller knife. So what other purposes do you, why do people use these knives? Why would someone purchase them besides being a collector?
Well, I got into the whole knife thing because I hunt and I wanted a good skinning knife.
Yes,
So
okay.
that is a small market of what I really sell now. And that's exactly what this is. The blade, the function, everything about it is, we could spend the whole program just talking about how good the steel is and what it will do. But that is a use knife. It
Yes,
is also a collector's piece.
Okay.
But if what I don't have any, unfortunately, is my culinary knives.
Oh.
Oh, they are to die for. My kitchen
Really?
knives, oh, unbelievable.
Yeah, and you go on his website and there are no culinary knives shown because they're all sold out.
Yeah, I sell them as
So
soon as
it's
I make them.
Yeah.
So can someone call you
amazing.
and say, I'd really like a set of culinary knives, and they can wait for you to make them? Or how does that work if someone wants a specific type of knife or wants to make an order? How does that work?
Well, I don't really take orders, but I will take suggestions and requests. And
Oh my God.
I'll kind of write them down, and then if they just keep in contact with emails, then I go through, and if you see something that I make, immediately hop on it and contact
Does
me.
it go on your website? Is that where you would
most
see
of
it?
most of the time it's Instagram.
Oh,
So
okay.
That's amazing.
I'll post something on Instagram, and immediately I'll get, somebody will send me a direct message. Is this available? How much? And then we negotiate from there. But I do occasionally try to put stuff on my website, but it's
You
rare.
don't need to because it's all you sell it off of Instagram.
Yeah.
So you not only make the knife, you not only collate with the handle and so forth, but the sheath is also your artistry, correct?
Yes, I have actually taught classes on the leather working. I'm self-taught. I went to the best leather workers are saddle makers. And so in my opinion, I have gone to saddle shops and seen what they did, and then just kind of watched videos, books, and then through trial and error, I've made the leather work, and it has to match what you're making. You can't sell a $3,000 knife and stick it in a $10 sheath.
No.
So it should
can all
be able
agree
to.
Yeah.
And this is just as important, the housing, which you're going to put the knife in, as the work you're doing. So many knife makers, they do the knife, they make the knife, but then they don't know how to make the sheath or how to house it properly. So
That's so
thank
gorgeous.
So what I understand is that your daughter also does this, or you're teaching your daughter that? Is that
yes,
correct?
she's an apprentice bladesmith. Now she got married and had a baby, so that kind of put a little hiccup on that.
Right.
But she does leather work as well, and her knives are just as good as this.
And her belts are on your website.
Her belts
so
are on her
what is the
website.
website for our viewers? Because we are out of time. I can't believe it.
Wow.
The website is wilburnforge.com.
Okay.
And then it's
WILBURN
Yep.
Forge.
Forge.com, and then Wilburn Forge on Instagram.
Okay.
So look it up. I can't
to
believe
follow
this
you on
is finished so fast. Thank you so much for watching.
Hi, we're back and we're speaking with Katie Minnelletti, and she is with the Trinity County Human Response Network, and she's the executive director. So she's here talking to us about how you guys are meeting needs in that Trinity County.
Exactly.
But
Yes.
Yeah, what is the Human Response Network? Tell us all about it.
We are a small nonprofit in Trinity County. We're based out of Weaverville, California, and we also have a satellite office in Hayfork, where we serve basically any resident of the county from birth to beyond retirement. We provide social services and coordinate children's services, including elder care services. I mean, we really have a vast array of services for the community.
Yeah, I was going to say a small nonprofit with a huge array of services.
Exactly. Yes.
How many people do you employ? Like, I mean,
We have 31 employees right now.
oh, that is not a small nonprofit. What is you saying?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a big staff.
And we're growing.
Oh.
We're definitely growing to meet the needs that we're finding in the community.
Wow.
And what types of things are you finding in the community that your community needs that you fulfill?
Childcare, affordable childcare is a really, really large one. So we coordinate 2 state preschools in that county, and we also assist the different childcare providers in their homes. We also have 2 teen centers that one is located in Hayfork and one is in Weaverville, where we have kids all the way from 8 years old to 17 years old that come in after school and do educational activities with us.
That is so good.
Yeah.
So what do you find are how many kids are coming through your programs, and then what do you find are their biggest challenges?
We honestly see probably hundreds a year of kids through our programs. We really we like to meet families right when they're first starting. You know, we have our Welcome Baby program where we go into the home and help new parents with brand newborns and kind of, you know, educate them on breastfeeding and anything that new parents are going through, the stresses of becoming, you know, a larger family, and then engaging them so that we can get them right into early childhood education programs through early Head Start and preschool, all the way up into our elder care programs where we're actually sending support caregivers into the home for the elderly who just need a little bit more, you know, encouragement, support, and friendship.
So I love your name, the Human Response Network,
Yes,
because I think
it's
that what
perfect.
you do, yeah, it is perfect, and it really does encompass everything. But how do the people find you? Like, how do they know, like, this is a place for me, like, this is where I should be?
Right. Well, a lot of word of mouth, obviously.
Okay.
Small community. A lot of people know about Human Response Network. We've been around for over 30 years now, originated in 1980. So other social service providers refer to us all the time, and we do the same in return. We also have a website, humanresponsenetwork.org, that people can find our services on. And then, of course, we're just located right in the middle of town, and a lot of people walk in and see our sign and say, you know, hey, I need help. How can you help me? And even if we're not the organization for them and we don't provide the service that they need, we will be able to refer them and kind of give them a warm handoff to the services that they do need.
That's so nice. That's such a, well, and it's free, I'm guessing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You're
that's
free.
it, yeah.
How are you funded?
We have community fundraisers, and we also have grants, state grants, local grants, to do the work that we do. And so every year, you know, those fluctuate, and it can be really fearful, scary. We might not get the funding that we really need to provide those services, and our community really steps up and provides for us. Every May, we have a children's festival where we put on fun and educational activities for the entire family. And community businesses really support that program, and they have been donating to us for years and years to make sure we have food for the kids and rides and activities, and mostly it's for the parents too, to come and learn about different resources that they can take advantage of. But without our community businesses and donors, we wouldn't be able to survive.
So when someone has a baby, like and they're in the hospital, is it generally the provider that sends them to you?
Yes.
Or they can
Yes.
self-refer though as well, right?
They can definitely self-refer.
Okay.
Many times providers engage with a patient while they're pregnant and let them know about our organization before they even give birth, so that we can do some in-home work with them. They can also meet with us in the office if they want to, and we have all sorts of books and stuffed animals and things to really get them ready for that new little baby in their life, and safety locks, you know, for their cupboards and electrical outlets and everything. And then we also do get to kind of share any domestic violence or sexual assault information that we have with them if that's something that's going on in their life.
Sometimes, like, I heard the name Human Response Network and I kind of thought, oh, it must be like one safe place, but really that's one part of what you do.
Exactly.
So what portion of your work is dealing with domestic violence?
We have the entire array of domestic violence and sexual assault services, helping folks get restraining orders. We have a shelter home that's completely confidential and safe for folks that need to leave their home. We have a 24-hour crisis line that anyone can call, men, women, or child, 24 hours a day from any point in Trinity County. Even if they're not from Trinity County, if they call our 623-HELP number, we can connect them to another nationwide crisis center if they're calling from a different state. And that is all ran by volunteers in our community. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So do you have a director for that group? Who oversees the volunteers?
We do. We have an empowerment services program director and an entire wing, actually, of our building designated specifically for domestic violence and sexual assault survivors, so that they really don't need to come into the main building. They can just go into that side of the building and receive confidential services, and you know, and nobody else knows why they're there or that they're there.
So you seem very passionate about this whole thing. Now, do we have time to ask how she ended up there? Christy's like our timekeeper.
No, I'm the timekeeper. Yeah, we're fine. Tell us.
It's a great question.
How did you fall into this position?
Into my dream job, really, is what it is. I started out doing kind of social service work in college, volunteering with Shasta Women's Refuge, which is now One Safe Place. And I was able to work for them for a few years right out of college, and that is where my passion for serving people, specifically the domestic violence and sexual assault survivors, really came from. And so coming back to this work, and now in a community that I am just falling in love with, which is Trinity County, is seriously my dream. I could not be any happier. And the staff that we have at Human Response Network are the most compassionate, loving individuals, I believe, on the planet. They come to work every single day to help people and improve lives. So I couldn't be any happier.
You really couldn't be any happier. You got lucky. Wow, and they're lucky to have you there too.
Thank you.
With the vision. What do you see for your future?
Well, like I said, we are growing rapidly. We really, if we see a need, we try to tackle it. We work with our community partners. We have a tobacco education program that we do in the county. We'd really like to grow our child care programs and see folks who want to work for themselves and own their own business and have that child care home reach their goal. So we'd really love to see more of those homes opening in Trinity County.
So like a little entrepreneurial empowerment.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, giving
Instead
people,
of just handing out, you're giving them tools to help.
giving them the tools, yes, to be their own boss and reach their goal.
What's your biggest need?
That's a great question. I would say sharing what you know about Human Response Network with others. Because even though we have been around for over 30 years, there are still individuals out there who do not know that we can help. And so I would ask any community member that if you see someone that is in need of domestic violence services, child care services, please reach out, please say something. Please just gently say, I know of this place, it's called Human Response Network, and they would love to talk to you, and here's their information.
So that is it's so exciting to hear about this, these services that you're providing and what you're doing. Give us some contact information.
Okay.
Again, I know you said it once.
Again, our 24-hour line is 623-HELP, H-E-L-P, and our website is humanresponsenetwork.org.
Okay, humanresponsenetwork.org, and then that phone is, now what if someone just wanted to call you, if just a regular?
Our regular Monday through Friday 8 to 5 business number is 623-2024.
Okay, 623-2024.
Yes.
Thank you, Katie, for coming on.
much.
That raced by. We're
really
going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
We're talking still about meeting needs in our community. And today we're talking with Larry Olmsted, who is the president and CEO of United Way of Northern California.
We are so happy to have you here.
We really are.
Thank you for coming in.
I'm very pleased to be here.
Yeah. So let's start with the very basic question. What does the United Way do?
Well, that's a great question, because United Way is one of those organizations everyone has heard about, but people often aren't certain what we do. What we do is that we fight for the education and financial stability and health of all the families in our communities. United Way is the world's largest philanthropic organization, and we're pleased to be one of their 1,200 local United Ways in the United States.
Okay.
Now, what counties do you service, and what does that mean when you say, you know, we fight for the needs? What does that mean?
That's a great question. We serve 9 counties in the North State, ranging from Butte and Glenn at the southern edge and Plumas all the way up to the Oregon border. And what it means for us in practical terms is that first of all, we raise money for nonprofits that have programs that are focused on those primary areas, on health, education, income, and especially with a focus on youth. The other thing that we do that a lot of people don't know about, but is a great program, is we run 211. 211 is a 3-digit dialing code that when you call it for free, confidential, any language, you're going to speak to a live specialist that can help you with referrals and information about any social service problem. A lot of people call about housing issues, around utilities. Can I get help paying my utility bills, rent, free legal help? A lot of calls are around mental counseling.
So you don't have to know
abuse.
why you're calling. You can just have a question about something that's social, and then you can, you know, something that might affect you, and then
Like you're worried about paying your rent. So
Yeah.
you're like, you know what,
Exactly.
I'm going to call 211 and see if they can help me think this through.
Yeah, there was a situation in my brother's past when he had a landlord-tenant problem. He was having some issues with his landlord. He was able to call 211 and get referrals to the agencies that would address that issue, and to where to find pro bono legal help. So it's those
That's a great
sorts of,
starting point.
absolutely. So please, county residents in Shasta and Tehama County and Butte County, please feel free to pick up that phone and dial 211. It's free, it's confidential.
Well, I've seen on the bus stop, right? Bill posters about it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, okay, so I've heard about this thing called the Prosperity Project.
Absolutely.
So what is that all about? Or is it Prosperity Initiative?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, partnering with Shasta County, United Way launched an initiative to try to address this issue. Too many families in our communities are struggling to make ends meet. And when that happens, there's a lot of things that happen in the household that are just not positive outcomes. And there's health indicators. There's issues around kids and whether they're getting the attention they need. There's stress in the household. We're not talking about families where, we're too lazy to work. No, people in North State are working. And what we found is in Shasta County, for instance, 30% of our households were struggling to make ends meet, but in 90% of those households, there was at least one adult working. So what that tells you is that we need higher paying jobs, right? But in the meantime, while we wait for those jobs to come, the community said, how do we develop tools so these families can make ends meet? So the Prosperity Initiative was born. The county was a partner, County of Shasta. We have 100 different individuals who were part of committees that were shaping what is the prosperity agenda. That agenda has been adopted and it's being implemented now.
And so I'm thinking, you mentioned your work outreach to youth. So who are you partnering with to positively affect the youth?
Absolutely. This is one of the key components of the Prosperity Initiative, because what we want to do in our communities, what we're finding is that, hey, our kids are graduating from high school. That's great. But what we're finding is too many of them aren't sure what the path is outside of that, whether it's a trade school or a 4-year university or military, whatever. We want to make sure they have a positive path. So one of our partners in that endeavor is the Catalyst Mentoring Initiative, which is hosted by the Stirring, but which involves 25 different agencies that do something with working with youth. And what that initiative is about is an attempt to recruit up to 1,000 adult mentors, because what we have found is that for youth, it's really important to pair them with positive adult role models.
Wait a minute.
To get them on the
You
right
said
path.
1,000 adult mentors here in Shasta County?
Over the next 2 or 3 years, that's the goal. That's the vision.
Okay, viewers,
Yes, step up.
1,000 adult mentors is a huge vision.
Absolutely.
And I love it. It resonates. It's big. Let's go for it, because can you imagine if you had 1,000 adults working with youth, the impact that could make on those children's lives?
Absolutely. So Catalyst Mentoring has already had a couple of events in which they've recruited a couple of hundred potential mentors. And what happens in this program is that these mentors get training. So it's not like, I signed up and now they're just going to throw me out there. You're going to get training that helps you be a good mentor. And these folks are vetted, okay? They're backgrounded. It's not like my kid is going with someone who's a little shaky, right? We take care of that. So Catalyst Mentoring, Aaron Hayes over at the Catalyst Center is doing a terrific job, and I would encourage you to volunteer with youth-oriented agencies, of which there are many. As an example, we're supporting the Y, Shasta Family Y. There's Eagle Soar as an example, Providence International. There's a lot of great nonprofits. So you can go to them and talk about, hey, can I be a mentor? Or you can go to our website or contact United Way or Catalyst Center, just do Catalyst Mentoring in the Google, and you'll connect with them.
So how do nonprofits get funding? Like how do they come to
United Way for money?
Absolutely, a very important process. And last year we gave about $121,000 to 22 nonprofits in our general program. Plus,
in our community?
Yes, ma'am. Plus another probably about another $50,000 in other types of programs, including prosperity funding. A lot of these grants are in the range of $5,000 to $10,000. You're like, oh, is that going to make a big difference?
That's
but the
a lot.
nonprofits say, hey, that money helps us. So what will happen is we get the word out to nonprofits, or you can visit our website, www.norcalunitedway.org, and get all the information you need. We'll probably do another round of funding this year to support the Prosperity Initiative. That's likely to commence in September, October.
Okay, so spring and fall.
So hit that website around then, and you'll find all the information you need.
Yeah, that's really neat. Yeah, I didn't realize that United Way was actually a funding source. I thought you were just partnering. Well, but you do both.
We do both, and we appreciate donations. Again, you can go to our website, and it'll direct you so you can support 211 through donations, or you can support our general work. Most of the money we get obviously is going to be sent out to other nonprofits, so that's a great way to donate to us, and we'll make sure that your money is spent in a good way. The thing I would say though about money is great. We could get $50 million in donations, whatever. What's really going to change things in this community are the other aspects of living united, which are volunteering, your church, any agency, what have you, and also being an advocate for social justice and positive social change. Those are as important, if not more important, than donating money
your money. Well, you heard it here. Larry, thank you so much. What an interesting, and we've all known United Way forever, so it's really powerful to get this kind of information about what you guys are doing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
And I love what you ended with. So we've finished our program. I can't believe it. What a fast time together. Thank you so much for watching. NorCalUnitedWay.com is the website, and we will see you back here on the forum next time.